Hey guys, welcome back. So today we are decluttering palettes, and this one, it's probably not going to be too big of a declutter if I'm being honest, just because this is really to kind of go through, see how long I've had some of these. If there are some of these that I really actually haven't touched that aren't, you know, brand new, maybe decluttering them. So I'm going to be kind of brutal with this. I do also have some of the heavier palettes are off to the side, and this is just the neutrals drawer. I do have a whole second one that I'll be doing after I clear out this. But I just want to go through these, and I'm going to be honest about what stuff I haven't used since I decluttered last fall. This is kind of the one exception to the expired makeup declutter that I'm in the middle of doing, just because powders tend to have different life spans so than say a lipstick or mascara. So yeah, let's just be brutal. Okay, so first up, this one, the Warriors palette by Juvia's Place. I really like this. I actually traveled with this recently to Europe. If you guys didn't see my Europe makeup haul, not Europe makeup haul, makeup I packed for Europe, I'll link the video right up here for you guys. But I am going to go ahead and keep this one. I like this. It's a good neutral palette. It doesn't have a lot of mattes in it. That's the one downside. There's only 3 matte shades, but it's gorgeous. So keeping this. This one. Oof. Okay, hold on. I need to have a better way to put these. So I'm actually going to put the ones that I'm keeping, I'm stacking over there. So my Naked 3 palette, I am going to get rid of this. This is about 6 years old now, maybe 7. I just don't use it. I keep it for the sentimental value. But since I'm not using it, there's no point in keeping it, and it's old. And some of these shadows look a little bit questionable when I look at them here in the pan. They're just kind of chunky and gross. So yeah, this is supposedly only good for 12 months. I've had it for 5 or 6 years. I'm getting rid of it. The Kat Von D Metal Matte Palette. So this is supposedly good for 12 months. That's typically what they put on all of these. I haven't used this since the last declutter, so I am just going to go ahead and get rid of this. The Queen of Hearts Colored Rain Palette. I do use this, especially in the fall. I am going to go ahead and keep it. This one I just recently did a tutorial with, if you guys haven't seen my green golden tutorial. I'm still testing this out. I'm not the biggest fan of this palette, so I probably will declutter it in the future, but for now, I'll let it stay since I'm still testing it. My Modern Renaissance palette. I'm not getting rid of this. I love this palette with every fiber of my being. Staying. The Sultry palette from ABH. Again, really like this. It's a good neutral palette with just that hint of a pop of color and bloom. Keeping. Then we have the Soft Glam palette. And this one's definitely the one I've used more between this and the Sultry. So I am going to hold on to this guy. Then we have my Too Faced Chocolate Bar and Semi-Sweet Chocolate Bar palettes. These are extremely old, and I don't use them anymore, to be honest, if I'm being completely honest. So I'll let myself keep one. And I think if I'm going to keep one, I'm going to stick with my original chocolate bar palette and get rid of the semi-sweet. The Dose of Colors matte palettes, I'm keeping these. I do use them. These are really great for, you know, if you want a one-tone makeup look, these are great, so keeping them. What is this? The Makeup Geek Champagne and Rosé. I haven't used this yet. I'm going to put this to the side because I've had this for about 7 months now and I haven't used it, so I'm going to put it to the side and figure out if I actually want to keep this or not. I have 2 Lorac palettes, the Unzipped Ocean Sunset, which I'm going to get rid of. I've had this for ages and I don't use it. And the Lorac Unzipped Gold. I do like this. It's a good neutral palette. However, I've had this for quite a few years now, and it's good for 2 years. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of it. The Dose of Colors Desi Katie the Girls palette. I love this palette, but it is kind of falling apart. And it looks like it's good for 12 months, so I am just gonna go ahead and get rid of that. Even though it breaks my heart to do it because it's such a great palette. The Too Faced, what is this even called? The Too Faced Sparkling Pineapple Eyeshadow Palette. This is still good. I still occasionally use this, so I'm gonna hold on to it. So we've got two of the Milani, the Bold Obsessions, and the Most Loved Mattes. I'm gonna keep the matte palette, and I'm gonna get rid of the Bold Obsessions. My Too Faced Just Peachy Mattes, I love this, it's staying. Kathleen Light's Dream Street palette, also love that. This is gonna be hard. I'm actually going to finally declutter this. This is the Makeup Forever. Like I said in the other videos, I'm getting rid of anything with a Sephora gratis sticker. This is supposedly good for 12 months, and I've had this for about 4, almost 5 years now. It's a really great palette. I just don't need it, and I'm not using it. I do, however, like this one. This is the Artist Shadow 9 Volume 4 palette. I will keep this. The Nicole Concealio and Violet Voss palette, I just don't reach for this, so I'm going to get rid of it. Actually, has this even been used? It looks like it's been partially swatched, but I'm going to get rid of it. The Matte About You palette I do like, I will keep. The two Lorac Mega palettes, I have the Mega 3, and then also the Mega 4. I'm keeping both of these, I do like them. And then I have, well, the third Sephora Pro palette's going to be in the next section I'm about to do, but this is the Warm palette, I believe. Yes, the Warm palette, which is really pretty. And also the Cool palette, again, also very pretty. I'm going to get rid of the Cool palette, but I will keep the Warm palette because I do use it. So that's it for all those. I'll come back to these at the very, very end once I've done all these palettes. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab all the colorful palettes out of the other drawer, put them into this drawer, and start going through those. Okay guys, so here we go. We've got all the colorful palettes stacked all the way up to the right over here. So we've got quite a few palettes. Let me see if there's a better way to angle this so we can include all these palettes. Okay, you can kind of see all of them now. Okay, great. So, let's dive into the colorful palettes and get these dudes done. We can do this, guys. I believe. Okay, so let's start with this one over here on the far end. This is the Cheers to the Beauty palette by Colored Rain. This is a gorgeous palette. It's really pretty. I do like it, and I do want to keep it. And I also know what you guys are thinking. Kate, dude, this is like 500 palettes. Dude, I am well aware. It's a problem. The Dose of Colors Desi Katie Friendcation palette. I am keeping this. I love this palette. I really preferred this one over the original one they did, but I think that's just because this was a more complete palette, and that's more my style. So keeping this. I have the Dominique Cosmetics Lemonade. Love this. Keeping this. The Dose of Colors Eyes Cream palette. This is really cute, really adorable, but I just don't use this. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of it. The ABH Subculture palette, I'm keeping this. I have no issues with mine. Mine works perfectly fine. The Norvina palette, also keeping that. The Riviera palette, I actually really love this. I've used it a few more times since my review video back in the spring. It's beautiful. I really like this. If you're looking for a good colorful palette, try it out. I haven't tried the new one from ABH, the Alyssa palette, so I'll have to eventually get around to doing that. The Too Faced Clover palette. I am going to go ahead and I'm gonna keep it. No, I'm gonna put it in the maybe pile for now because I'm kind of on the fence. I do want to keep it, but I kind of don't. Let's do this one, the Too Faced Sweet Peach palette. Love this. This goes nowhere. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and declutter. I'm going to declutter the Gingerbread Spice, and in return, I will keep the Clover. Next I have the ColourPop Misunderstood Villains palette, keeping this. The Kat Von D 10th Anniversary palette. I mean, I'd love to keep it just for the packaging because it's really pretty, but I just don't use this. So I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of it. The Huda Beauty Desert Dusk palette. I will go ahead and hold on to this. I do like this palette. I don't use it all the time, but I do use it. Let's do these other two since we were just doing Kat Von D. Let's do these two Kat Von Ds. The Pastel Goth palette I'm going to keep. I really like it. The I Am Divine palette, same thing, also keeping it. Love this color scheme. The ColourPop and Kathleen Light's Zodiac palette. I'm gonna declutter this. I just don't reach for it. I don't really like the color combinations in here, so goodbye to that. The Yes Please palette. I keep wanting to call this the Cute AF palette, and that's not what it is. The Yes Please I will keep. The Mar palette I will also be keeping. It's a really great blue mix palette. The Colored Rain Lovelies palette. I like this, and I'm actually going to keep it. The I Love Sarah E and Dose of Colors palette, keeping that. This little Smashbox cover shot I've had for ages. I've used it like twice. I just don't reach for this. I'm gonna get rid of it. The NYX Glitter Goals, I'm keeping this. This is in here mostly for like future special effects kinds of looks. It's not really in here for day-to-day makeup, but these are like cream-based like liquid glitters. They're amazing. I've swatched them a couple of times. You know, it's just, they're really helpful to have on hand. So keeping that. Like I said, my plan in the future is for there to be a special effects drawer. There kind of is one already. I can show it to you guys. There's one that's started, but it's, you know, still being worked on. So the NYX Water palette. I'm going to go ahead and declutter this. The Fire palette. I am going to keep this. BH Cosmetics Zodiac Taurus palette I will keep. It's a good palette. Plus I'm a Taurus. Sigma Creme de Couture, I am keeping this. The ColourPop and Shayla Perception palette, I'm going to declutter. I never know how to say this properly because my Italian in me wants to say the Duce, but I don't think that's right. But I'm keeping this. I love this color scheme. To be honest, I think I'm just going to keep all the Juvia's Place ones. The Festival palette. Did I even show that to you guys properly? There you go. The Festival palette. I love the Zulu palette. It's actually like my favorite one. The Saharan 2. I'm decluttering it. I should get rid of one. The Tartist Pro Remix palette. I just don't reach for this. It's a great palette, but I just don't use it. So I'm going to get rid of it. The BH Cosmetics and Sylvia Gani palette. This is still being tested, so I'm going to hold on to it. The BH Cosmetics Take Me Back to Brazil. Love this palette. It is staying. Stay. Don't all go crashing down now. Okay, here we go. The Sephora Pro Editorial one. I will keep this. I decluttered the Cool palette earlier. The BH Cosmetics Club Tropicana Foil eyeshadows. I'm keeping these. The Morphe 35B I will keep as well. It's always helpful to have a lot of rainbow palettes on, and some of these, to be honest, I'm probably just going to straight up move to that special effects because some of these I know I only have for that purpose. The Masquerade palette by Juvia's Place I will keep, and the Magic by Juvia's Place I will also be keeping. And now we are down to the troublesome ones, the Jaclyn Hill Morphe Vault palettes. I have so many mixed feelings about this in general. I am going to get rid of 2 of these. I will be keeping the Dark Magic palette and the Armed and Dangerous palette. I am decluttering the other 2. This one has an eyelash stuck to it. The hell? I am decluttering this one, which is Ring the Alarm and Bling Boss. I will also say this now here on my channel. I do not support Jaclyn Hill anymore after the entire drama. Now that it's been a while, had time to think about it. I will not be using the palettes that I'm keeping on my channel, but I obviously had to include them in this declutter. So these 2 that I'm keeping, I'm only keeping because I really love the color scheme. I'm not keeping them for any other purposes. Like, I really do love the colors that are in here and in here, but I don't want to be showing support for her anymore on my channel, so this is probably the last you guys will be seeing of these palettes. Even if I'm wearing them in like chatty videos or things like that, I will not put them in the description. I know a lot of people have mixed feelings on the subject, and I don't want to go into too many details because I don't want to spark rude comments down below. So I understand that everyone has their own opinion of the situation. Some people still respect and follow her, and that is your decision to make. I will not be. So these are just staying for my own personal, outside of YouTube use. So now we are down to the 2 palettes that I was debating. The Makeup Geek Champagne and Roses, Champagne and Rosé, and the Too Faced Sparkling Pineapple. I'm actually going to keep them both. Now that I've kind of looked at all my palettes, I don't really have one similar to this. And the same goes for this one. I mean, I guess it's kind of like Modern Renaissance, but it's also kind of not because it's a lot pinkier. So I'm going to keep this one too. I figure out how I want to do that. I think what I might do is all the big oversized palettes will be going down in this drawer and all the smaller ones in the top drawer. I'm going to go ahead and start grabbing all the big palettes and lining them up. And that is it, guys. As you can see, we've got them all loaded up. All of the smaller, easy to fit palettes up here. The bigger, oversized ones in here. And then finally, I believe this is my... Nope, that's face palettes. Where is my special effects? This dude will be going in the special effects drawer, which I think is actually special effects drawer. This guy's just gonna go and live in there. And we're all set. Woo! On to the next.